Okay, so hello everyone. This video is slightly different in a couple of different ways. One is that I've already tried to make it once. I have already tried to make it once. My microphone has been messed up, and I've been thinking I had it fixed, and it wasn't fixed. So I'm just gonna let you know it's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday that there are issues. Today's video that released at 4 o'clock, it's going to drop off suddenly at the end, and it's because I was using the game bar, and I am not familiar with it yet. So when I was trying to record, I was trying to move something on my screen because it was messing with my eyes, messing with my view, and which messes with my thinking power. So I was just trying to move it, and it just stopped. Like I couldn't pause. Like with OBS, I know how to pause. Like I can't mute on purpose. I can mute accidentally, but not on purpose. But I mean, I've worked with trying to mute my mic on OBS when I need to. I have not figured out yet how to do that. If anyone knows how to do it, that would be a great help to me on OBS, because otherwise that's like a really easy one for me to transition from making videos if I want to live stream, which is what this character here is going to be for. I moved her over to Bastock. She's in Bastock because I already have the method of having done Sandoria. So I was like, as much as I love Sandy, no, not gonna do that twice. So that she'll be here for when I do live streaming. It'll be a Taru Red Mage starting in Bastock, which, as I said, I was already making a video. So to cover this part real quick. I don't do daggers on red mages. I do swords. You put a sword in a red mage's hand. They're battle mages. So I did that. But as I was trying to explain what happened to the other videos, this video was currently getting messed up. So I mean, I started. You can see I haven't even found the FOB or anything over here. So she's what is she, level 4? Yeah, level 3. So she's level 3, and that explains her. Now anyway, I was just using her because I kept messing up the other one's videos, and I'm like, I don't want to keep going and it being messed up. So I brought on her because she hadn't gone anywhere yet. So I figured, and since she's supposed to be for lives anyway, I was like, I'll explain it on here. So that's this. This is understanding where she is and why she is. Today's video, like I said, I messed up on the not knowing I couldn't click off of anything, and it just would shut the video down. It would stop it. It doesn't have a pause or anything like that I could find. So it would just stop the video. On what is it? Today's Saturday. So on Sunday's video that will be coming out, because I knew I was going to be busy during the week, I wanted to make sure, because first off, content is, if I waited for if I tried to publish when I could play, I would either have like a 6-hour video randomly, or I don't even, it might be a month before you see me again. But but if I can play when I have time and then schedule those blocks into the week every day, I can actually maintain some type of consistency, and also maintain the desire to keep going this time and to actually finish the game. Well, let's be honest, people have been playing for the same amount of 23 years, 20 years, whatever, and not finished the game. But you know what I mean? I'm going to master at least part of it. But yeah, so it helps me to just like make videos and know that I have them in advance, and I know even if I get lost in my brain, I can come back and watch my own video and see what I did last, because I don't edit it out. Like, I know exactly what I did last by watching the video. So that's another way of helping me to accomplish my goals. So that's why I do that. But with the sound thing, I mean, it's part of who I am. Like, I might be absolutely silent, holding my breath for several minutes at a time, just forget that there's even a person that I'm talking to or trying to communicate with. Just forget you're there altogether. or I might blather like a complete idiot just trying to figure out what happened, you know. But that happened a couple times on the upcoming videos, and I just wanted to take a moment to say you're going to see some strange things. You're going to see what looks like I'm staring at a map for a very long time, and it's and it's because I decided on these videos that are coming up to try and open Wiki, because even though I know a lot of where I'm going from before, and I know a lot of other things, some of these locations, they might be part of a mission for a nation. They might be part of Xylart. I know I'm staying out of the COP areas right now, but it might be a Xylart part that I'm going to have to go into the on your Monday video. You'll see I'm in the Temple of Ugly Pie. I'm always going to call it that. With those little toneberries. Anyway, it is. I'm in there, and my brain kind of was like, well, I know we have to get a key, and I know we need a paintbrush, and there's other things that are in here, plus Toneberry hate, so how do we do this? But the thing is, my brain was confusing Xylart, which is a paintbrush, and Sandoria's mission, which is the prelate key, and also part of the summoner's quests, and just so many different things. Plus, those toneberries in there are really good for hunting if you take a thief with you, because it drops scrolls and they have testaments, and you know. So I've been in there for a lot of things, and so I was like, let me open Wiki so I can stay focused somewhat. Well, that didn't help either. I mean, not that it didn't help. It did. When I was in Quicksand Caves, it totally helped. But like, what was it? The one Sundays is going to be. The one today I started the trial of the dagger trial, right? So I did the Dream Rose thing and started the trial. So that would be Saturdays. So Sundays is the one that I was down in the, I would have been doing rank 8 or 7. I think that's what I was doing. But when I was down there, I was trying to explain that I got my dagger and that I don't intend to stop and just break the latent, you know. And yes, at this moment, the things that I'm going to be saying for the next few minutes is specifically for FFXI players who already know what I'm talking about, because I just made some oopsies with my videos, and for those who know, I just want to be able to let them know where my oopsies were. So, yeah, I went in and I got my dagger, and I was explaining that I'm not going to go through and try and break the latent on, like, you know, actual just go out and fight mobs. What I'm looking to do is I am going to continue my content and just weapon skill until the latent's broken, you know. So with that in mind, I believe that today's video is the Cloak and Dagger quest thing. That's what today's is, and you'll hear it. You'll hear me talk about getting the, you know, like doing it. But it's gonna cut off, I think. So it's just gonna cut off at the end. It's like, it's not gonna. When I get to the end of this video, it's just gonna cut off. The next video that will be coming out will be Sunday's video. That's when I'm getting rank 8. And the whole time, I had no idea the whole time that there was no voice. That one I had no clue that there was no voice the whole time. And I mean, I bought the what did I do in that one? I know it was rank 8. So it's like the, what do you call it? The war machines and stuff, you know, going, and it was kind of funny because I knew I had to go to the Horalis or whatever you call it. I knew I had to get up to that peak, but my brain didn't register that it was just a burning circle. Like, I am trying to figure out how to get through these maps, how to get up there to get to this peak, and it's not a peak. It's a circle. It's a burning circle. You have to go into a cave. It's a burning circle, and I'm so used to doing Sandoria, and you never you never do it in, you never go there because you have to go to the other 3 nations, you know? So, like, every time I would start a new character, you know I got to at least rank 5, right? So, I mean, I've always gone to the other ones. Usually either the one in Windy. I prefer the one in Windy, but, I mean, I can get to the one in Bastock, too. I just climbed that little mountain or whatever. But, anyway, I was lost. Just running around back and forth, and I instinctually I was going the right way, and you'll see that I was going, but then I was questioning it, and so yeah, I back and forth, and you would have understood if you had sound, but back and forth, and yeah, so that's the thing, and so then I was actually, after I took out the after I took out the war machines and everything for that rank, and I got rank 8. After that, I was like, why do I keep underestimating these trusts? Like, why do I keep? I can't get it out of my head because of how old school I am. I can't get it out of my head that the trusts can just, if I wasn't there, they'd still get it done, you know. So, minus the fact that they wouldn't know where to lock on, but yeah, they can get the job done. So I am trying to push forward on getting the actual content. I can get levels anytime, and in fact, the more content I open, the more areas I have to get levels. It's going to always be a leveling thing. You're always going to need either experience points or merit points or whatever these things are. You're always going to need more, you know, so that part I'm not trying to rush. But I do want to get through to get rank 10 in Sandoria and finish Xylart so I can feel comfortable opening up COP. And from there, you know, just down the line. Oregon, I'm going to spend a lot of time in. But that's why, you know, I'm not worried about that, but I do want to get this done. So I need to trust my trust. And then the next video, that one ended decently. It just ended with no sounds, no farewells, no anything that I say. And then the one that will be coming out on Monday, I was actually filming that today, and I thought I had it fixed. I thought the mic was, everything showed as being on, and so I went through the whole video. And there were things in that video that are just going to make no sense once again, because I had decided, I opened up the wiki and I was like, okay, show me how to get to the, you know, honor and stuff. And they did, and I was like, wow, look how easy it is, without even having to worry about the map too much, because I knew what point to go to, like H10, whatever. And then I also want to note that I had Jason's voice in my head telling me to go get my bolts, and I did get bolts. And I was going to pull Honor or Valor with them, but I couldn't get a lock. I could not get a lock on them. I got frustrated, took Sneak down, and just let them aggro me. And when they did, I mean, I was going to take out, I think, Valor first, but I noticed Honor was casting, and we don't trust casters. We don't trust casters. Casters will either keep somebody else alive for too long, or they will totally paralyze and you know, they will just, they'll take us out over time. So I wanted that one gone. So I switched the attack over, and, you know, we whooped him. Of course we whooped him. But I noticed that we got silenced. I couldn't, even if I wanted to, if we weren't already aggroed by Valor, Honor had silenced us. So I had to wait, and I'm watching, and Val is just getting his butt beat because this monk Kraken is just tearing him up. And I'm thinking, well, I might have to, it's not a 2 hour now, but whatever it is, whatever you call it now, I was like, I'll just, you know, perfect dodge when he goes into his monk's 100 fist, right? 100 fist, perfect dodge seems to be an equivalent that could handle it. But we started whacking before Val went out. We started whacking on him, and then all of a sudden, right before this thing dies, Val gets full life and like, full light. Just like everything is all glowing. He's untouchable. He is glowing. I'm just like, what's going on? What's going? And you don't hear that because I'm going, what happened? What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Like, I know my trust don't level up in a bite. I was like, is Epuru losing? What did she use benediction? I'm not healed. What happened? This is not how invincible works. What's going on? I did not know. So you'll see me after that fight is over. I warp out, and you'll see me go. I'm just scrolling through the text because I can't. I'm looking for what Epuru did to fix him. I'm trying to figure out how to work with my trust because I already am not aware of how powerful they are. But then something like that happens, and I'm like, wait a second, what is going on? What happened? And I found it says, by the bond that ties you together, he stood firm or something. He stands firm in the bond that ties you. And I was like, that. Now that's cool. Now that is very cool. He stood his ground because we're bonded. Isn't that lovely? I was fascinated by it, and the screen will portray that I was fascinated by it because I was reading it for a very long time, and you would have known that hearing me. But yeah, now you're just going to wonder why you're staring at a screen of words for so long. Then something to that effect happens again, because we go out to the temple for round 2. And when I get out to the temple, what happened was this. Let me just explain here. Might need to sit down for this one. Okay, so focus on the cuteness when I say that I was out there and I got lost in the temple, in the Yoder, and in the temple, Yoder, out. I was so lost. It was frustrating to me being out there. It's still frustrating. I still haven't bothered to look at the maps yet to figure out where I have to go for anything. But while I was in there, I was trying to get the prelate key because I knew I had to get the prelate key. It was one of the things that I knew. I didn't want to confuse myself with everything. I had even said I was just going to go ahead and get the paintbrush while I was there, but that's a whole quest, and I had forgotten it's a whole quest, so I said, no, I'll do that at another time. I just need to get the prelate key so I can get in there and finish this part of the mission. So what happened is I finally zoned into an area where they're actually the mobs that drop it, because apparently you can have a toneberry, toneberry stabber if you're inside, but it has to be a toneberry chopper if you're outside, and it has to be a toneberry something else if you're in the den of rancor. And so I was like, whatever, let me just go find these choppers. I find the chopper. First chopper, we murk it like always, and then it drops the prelate key, and I'm ecstatic. It's a prelate key. Oh, people who have had to farm that area before to take a party through that gate understand the joy of having a prelate key just drop for you. So I'm like, yes, I've got it, no problem. And then I see another toneberry, and I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'm just gonna call. No, I zoned out. I zoned into the other area because I was like, let me check where this map is. I got the prelate key. All I gotta do is find the door now, and that's gonna be trying to figure out what map I'm on, because I don't know left from right versus east from west. I think it's terrible, but I mean, it takes me a minute. But what had happened when I did this, you know how I'm always checking to see if it's blue, because if it's blue I can warp out and I don't have to worry. Well, the prelate key wasn't blue. It was, an item. And your girl was full. My inventory was full, and I didn't notice it, and I was so excited at having had the drop that I just was like, oh, let me just go now. I can just do this, because I don't like the area. I hate toneberries. And I lost the key. And I didn't even know I lost the key. I had no clue I lost the key. So I go in there, and I'm like, oh, wrong map. And then I come back out, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to fight any of these other ones, I'm calling for help because I've already got the drop. See, I don't even know. At this point, I still don't know. So I'm like, I'm going to call for help on a mob because I don't need the drop, and I don't want the extra hate and calling for help, mob. So I go and I find another chopper, and I attack it, and I call for help on it. No big deal. And shortly after that, is when I realize I don't have the prelate key. So I did some, rage dumping of items and shuffling things over and putting things in, and then I went hunting for a prelate key on choppers and didn't get one. I didn't get one. I still don't have one. I have to go back. I left them parked right there. I have to get one. But it was just too much of a mental meltdown for me when I realized the oops. And then I was like, well, at least I will have, I'll do a part 1 and a part 2, and everybody will understand. Nobody's going to understand if they don't see this video. Just listen, if you don't see this video, you're not going to understand. This video is the only one I've got that's going to explain what happened to 3 other videos. And I think now that I've got it, I double checked on like a 5-second video to make sure this was recording sound this time. It is recording sound. So that is what is happening. I'm going to go back in a little bit, and I'm going to get my prelate key, and I'm going to continue, and it'll be a part B. But that's what's happened. If you've already watched today's video, then you just know the ones coming tomorrow have no sound, and the ones coming Monday have no sound, and you'll have a heads up as to what happened. And if you want to watch them anyway, thank you very much. But if not, it really is just FF11 gameplay with a person staring at maps and words an awful lot because they're trying to figure out what's happening. So anyway, thank you for catching up. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I will catch you all later.